Today we're talking about one of the best techniques that you can throw in the wintertime when the water is cold, and that is a tight line. My name is Josh with Josh and Hunter's Adventures, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing everything that you need to know to go out and catch bass in the wintertime on a tight line. Alright, so let's talk about what is the tight line. Basically, it's just a very small 1/8 ounce jig head with a minnow style bait. I use a gulp minnow. We're going to talk about that just here in just a minute. Let's go over the jig head that I use. So the jig head that I use, I pour these myself, but I use a 1/8 ounce Do It Molds freestyle jig. Been using this for years. It's a great jig head for this technique. Now, the bait itself is a 3-inch gulp minnow. I've got a tub of them right here. You can see you buy a tub of them, you get a bunch in there. I always buy the 3-inch smelt. It's what I always buy, 3-inch smelt. Hopefully you guys can see that. But like I said, it comes in a liquid that smells really bad, but other than that, the fish absolutely love them. They have really good action on the tail. You can see they got like a split tail right there. This jig head has a keeper on it. That's very important. If you buy a jig head, an 1/8 ounce head, make sure it's got a keeper. That way your bait is held on there. You're going to see on here I tie a loop knot on my line. It's very important to tie this loop knot. If you're not familiar with the loop knot, I've got a bunch of videos on the channel. You can just go back and look, and we talk about tying the loop knot on a jig head like this. As far as line goes, I use 4-pound test Trilene. I don't go any bigger than 4-pound test. I just go to Walmart and buy the red box, the Trilene XL or whatever, in the green 4-pound test. Now, let's talk about the rod and reel, because that is very important. There's a lot of different rods out there that you can use. You want something really light. As when I say light, I mean light to the like picking up light. I like this Phoenix Feather series. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. This is one of my favorite tightline rods I've ever had. It's in a 7'1" medium. It's the Feather series. This accepts weights of lures from 1/8 ounce to 3/4 ounce. Like I said, it's 7'1" medium. You're going to see in the video, it's got a great tip on it. It's perfect for this technique. I always throw it and pair it up with this Daiwa Revros in a 2000 size. 4-pound test, you're going to put a ton of line on a 2000 size, so don't worry about that. I do that to keep the weight down. The way that you fish this, you're going to see in the video. I fish it 2 different ways. I fish it the original tight line way that people have been fishing it, that know how to fish the tight line, have been doing it for years. You basically get on a 45-degree bank, and you cast it at a 45-degree angle close to the bank, and then you just start working it down the bank by just shaking your rod tip very gently, shaking it. And what happens is that bait's just going down the rocks just like that, bumping the rocks as it's coming down, and you basically want that bait to pendulum back to you. And I know it's when you first start fishing this technique and you haven't really done it before, it's kind of hard because you feel like you don't really know what you're doing, and it doesn't really make sense, but it does. But I always tell people, if you're hanging up, then you're fishing it too slow. If you're not bumping the rocks, then you're fishing it too fast. But this is a amazing bait. This is probably the bait that I throw 90% of the time in the winter. It's just one of my favorite baits, and I've been throwing it for years. And I'm not saying that I'm good at it by no means, because there's some guys that fish it in my area that are just, unreal. They're really good at it. But the other way that I fish it is I a lot of times will see fish on the graph, and I'll throw it just like a Damiki style bait. Now it sinks really slow, but I'll throw it out there and I'll just let it pendulum over their heads. And a lot of times I believe, and I've talked about this on videos on the channel before, is I think it just so slow over their head where like a 3/8 ounce or a 1/2 ounce Damiki style jig head minnow style bait falls really fast. I believe this bait right here, just that fall, gradual, fall down to the bottom to them, they can't resist it. And I catch so many doing it like that, and you're going to see some of the catches in today's video of that. But The jig head color, a lot of times I won't even paint the head. Sometimes I'll paint it just white, and I have noticed that a lot of times they just seem like, if they'll come up and they'll look at it, and I'll see them on the graph and they just don't like it. A lot of times I'll change over to a head that just I didn't paint. It's just pure lead, just silver. And a lot of times that is something that they really key in on. Sometimes I put eyes on them, sometimes I don't. I don't know if it makes a difference. I just do it for me, really. But this is a really, really good technique, guys. One thing that I will tell you is, if you fish this bait and then set it down in your boat and don't fish it for, say, an hour, you fish something else, when you come back to this bait is going to be pretty much hard, because it has to stay in this liquid or in the water. Uh-oh, I'm leaking here just a little bit. But it has to stay in the liquid or the water to keep it from getting really hard. You'll notice if you leave it on this hook, it'll like draw up and like get like an old worm would if you've left it on a like a night crawler on a hook. But it'll get really hard, and it'll just shrink up. But so you either need to keep it in the water, or you need to keep it in your container right here of your gulp. But let's go ahead and get into some of the footage of this tight line, and you guys can see how I'm fishing it. Man, that fish came out of nowhere. Largemouth. Looks like he's hooked good. I know I've showed you guys before, but see right there where it got him? Right in the top of the mouth. Good largemouth. I'm going to show you the shad that he just spit up. I want you to look at the size of this shad. I seen him spit it up. This might be like an alewife or something. Now this is the shad that he spit up. Try to hold it. And you can see, I'm gonna get a picture of that for my Facebook page. Good little largemouth. Not no giant, but still fun to catch. That shad swim off. Can you believe that? Well, he's got another chance to live. Got him. Feels like a good one. Looks like a largemouth. Yep. Good largemouth. Right where you want it, boys. Let me show you something right here. Look at that right there. That's where you want it. Right down there in the top of their mouth right there. That's a good thing about this tight line is that they'll eat it, and usually you get them right in the top of the mouth with it. I just want to get a quick picture to show my Facebook people. If you're not following us on Facebook, make sure you go over there and check us out. Yeah. Okay, thank you, buddy. Good little largemouth. Yeah, good largemouth. Come off a tree. Healthy guy. See you, buddy. Thank you. All right. Got him. Gosh almighty. I'd like to see what it is at least. Another largemouth. I'll be dang, boys. Another largie. Would never expect that. I just poured lake water down my Mountain Dew. Oh, that'll taste good, won't it? A little fishy. Oh, that's another good one, boys. Another good one. Come on. Yeah, except for our lake water Mountain Dew. All right, guys, let's let him go. Thank you, buddy. That was fun. Nice, nice, nice. Well, might as well get a drink. A little lake water won't hurt you. Got him. Gosh. Stay down, honey. Big smallmouth. I wish you wouldn't jump, honey. Yes. Try not to dump a bunch of water in my drink this time. Goodness. What a beautiful fish, boys. What a beautiful fish. And the hook just popped out. Look at that one, guys. Beautiful fish, man. Oh my goodness. Look at that one, guys. Beautiful smallmouth, man. They are just roaming everywhere right now. That's a good looking smallmouth. Thank you, old girl. You go back. Keep growing. Man. Got him. Oh gosh, another big smallie. Another good one. Big old fat one. Yeah. It's another good one, guys. It's got a weird mouth on it. It's got another shad in its mouth. No wonder, guys. Look how fat he is. Look how fat that fish is. I'm going to try to let him go, get a picture here. Okay, choke it back down there, bud. Oh, I had to stick the shad back down in its mouth. It fell out. Oh. All right, guys, there you have it, the tight line. It's a great bait for cold weather, wintertime bass fishing. It's, like I said, one of my favorite ways to catch them. It's just something that I've always enjoyed doing, and I love this 7'1" medium feather, this Phoenix rod, and this 2000 Daiwa Revros. It's a really good setup for this. Guys, if you got any questions or comments, go down in the comment sections. I'll be glad to answer these the questions that you have the best that I can. And if you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Till next time, this is Josh with Josh and Hunter's Adventures. Thanks for watching.